Hello, Professor. This is my final project presentation. In this project, I use Google Drive API, YouTube API, and Google OAuth 2 API for permission to write to Google Drive. I give YouTube channel ID to these APIs, and what I get back is the channel's information to my Google Drive. So Google OAuth 2 would be called first to get the token, then request YouTube API for channel information. After channel information got, write the file to Google Drive with the token. This is part 2 of my final project presentation. So we go over my sequence diagram. So first of all, the user would request for our website, the index website. So server would return the index.html and with stage code 200. Then user paste the YouTube channel ID to input field and request for search. So our server creates a stage for this search data. Then the server sends a field to redirect to Google's OAuth endpoint and include this information. And so go to Google API with my login card ID. So the browser sees field 2 redirect to Google OAuth 2 API. And so the API send back login form. And we have to log in to our account if no account login. So ask for permission, and we agree to grant the permission for our application, and redirect to our server with the code and stage. So our browser receive field 2 redirect to our server with these three info data. So use the stage as a key to look up the channel ID we previous input. And send this information for token. Then the Google OAuth 2 API return back a token object that includes this information. So we can start the process to get channels information by the channel ID. So we have to get the channel snippet first, then get the channel statistic. So YouTube IP API returns back both information with stage code 200 OK. And we can start to upload our text file to Google Drive API with post, and the update type will be media. So then the file create successfully and return back an object with HTTP 200 OK. Then our server receives the object, and we redirect to the link to open the file, and browser receive VL2 redirect to the link. So return back 200 OK, display the file. So this is the whole process. This is part 3 of my final project presentation. So let's go over the code. So first, user would make a request for the index page. So our application would return back the index page form. So they have to input the YouTube channel ID, and this information would be passed through the URL to our server with search, and the YouTube channel ID input would be saved to our array, and we execute the function to Google OAuth to start the OAuth2 process. So this function with some configuration that Google required, and we redirect to this location. Then after the user log into their Google account and agree to grant the permission to us, then we would go to this receive code page, and we get the code that YouTube OAuth API returned, and we take the YouTube channel ID from our array that we previously saved, and then we can send the access token for permission. Here, so the grant type will be authorization code, and we make a post request to the API, and the API return back the token stream, and a callback function execute to face the token object, and then after we got the token, we can start the process to get YouTube channel information. So we have two URL we have to make requests by the get method. So after the first request ends, we start the next one. So the information passed to this function. So after both information got, we have to generate a file. So this is the endpoint of Google Drive API, and with this configuration to the post method. So after we finish uploading, we receive the response from Google Drive API, and we face the body and that we need the result ID to open the file. So we redirect our to this page, and we can see the Google Drive page that we upload the file. This is part 4 of my final project presentation. So let's run the project. So the first test is to test can user go to invalid page of our website. So if user type to a invalid page, so he will get this 404 page. So the next test is to test normal input. So we got a Google login form for the API. So we got the information from YouTube. So let's check. So so the result is correct. The next thing is to test another YouTube channel. So another YouTube channel is also correct. So the final test is to test any invalid YouTube channel ID.
Try new Crunchies treat.
So this is an invalid YouTube ID. So the 404 page would be shown to user. For the part 5 of this presentation. So first question is, how do you guarantee that the first API is received before the second one is request? I use what I learned from class by continuation parsing style. After token is received, the function to request for YouTube channel information is called. And after YouTube information is received, then execute the function write file to Google Drive. The second question is, what did you cache? How long is each resource cached for? So nothing is cached in my project. So and I don't know how to answer the next question because nothing is cached.